Good night, good night. Sorry if I'm looking greasy, just came from yoga. Hi Sabrina, hi Tasha, hi Sophia. Good night. Just hopped on to see how everyone's going. I know last week was very busy for me in between traveling and getting back to a groove here. So just wanted to check in with everyone and see how everyone is doing. How is June treating you? Hi, clothes range. Just want to see how June has been treating everyone. How are things going with your branding, your marketing, your business development even? How are things going? Hi, Raquel. Hey, Tony. Wanted to kind of give some experience that we would have had. It was last week, I believe it was. We did a judging for UTT, which is the Caribbean Academy of Fashion Design. They had to pitch, like if they were going to pitch to buyers. Is this something that you have thought about, and how would you be doing something like this if you are in the situation to, or if you have the capacity to pitch to buyers? Is this something that you're ready for? Just a question, because to me, I think it's something that's being taught at the school right now, and it is real life. Things like this do happen. You may either be representing a company or your own brand, and a lot goes into actually putting forward yourself and your brand to let a buyer understand who you are, your markets, your line sheets, your prices, even your inspiration, where it comes from, your costing, all these sorts of things, and even for them seeing the products themselves. Okay, so I see, so it's something to think about. Yes, pitching to buyers. It's not just for them seeing. So actually, it's in the space of you pitching to a retail space outside of the region, where we would just be like, oh, we like your stuff, send you a consignment agreement, and call it a day. How about it being for a showroom or for an international retail space that may be getting a lot of interest every day from different people, but you actually have the opportunity to pitch to them? So you may have to, as I said, show a lookbook, show a line sheet, show inspiration, show the materials, the colors, the whole scheme behind it, and the theme, the market that you're also attracting. As of course, it should fit in with their market. Good night, Shade. So, is it something that you've ever thought about or thinking of doing? It's, as I said, it's all a part of your branding and marketing and exposing yourself and expanding your brand. Be it even something you're doing with the regional retailers that we have right now, more than just saying, for them seeing your stuff and you tag them, sending them a proposal. Something small, doesn't have to be anything major, as I'm saying now, but actually, you're just sending them quality photos of your pieces, the inspiration, or even the quality, the collection name if you have one, and how best it will fit in. Or here's what we had to put together. Yes, it's something similar. So it's where you're actually pitching to these buyers. Yes. So actually, one of the students, the groups actually, they got printed stuff looking like a magazine. So of course they were one of the higher rated groups. But some of them, because their budget is so low, they would have actually just printed and stuck things together, but you could actually laminate it on different things. But now, because of technology, and not all the time you'll be able to meet face to face with these buyers, you can put together PDF documents as well. Yes, Sabrina. So again, that's something we can speak about as well. You can actually check out on my website on thefashionhash.com. We have the difference between the a line sheet and a lookbook, because there are two different things. The lookbook is just for them. Instagram is great. Yes, Raquel, I know you have been working on that, and I know you have someone that can assist you with it. I'm hoping that you can get that done soon. The lookbook itself is a catalog then of your work. You can't just depend on Instagram. And also, even if you don't have it printed, Raquel, you can have it online, send a link to people, or you can do it as a card. Actually, I don't know if I still have it, but I know Delia at one point in time, it was as big as my tablet, and this is about 7 inches. So she would have done her lookbook on a tablet. So the looks on one side, and on the other side she would have done contact information, a small write-up in terms of the description of the collection, thanks Tony, and all her contact information to find her. So that can be used as well. It doesn't have to be this full-on magazine, expensive prints. So even if you do a hard card-like picture frame as well, that size, 7 inches, 10 inches for the most, not as large as a full page, but smaller, something that they can still carry around if they have a folder. So as I'm saying, so the lookbook again is that catalog. You cannot just depend on Instagram or Facebook all the time, because other things come up in your Instagram and Facebook feed. It's not all the time every single picture is a product. You may have your inspiration, you may have when you're at some other show, or you may have a client in your pieces, and a buyer doesn't really care about that. They really just want to see your product, and sometimes they need to see it up close. So that lookbook, as I'm saying, it could be created and sent to them electronically, or if you do meet up with them, find unique ways then to show them that this can be done, and it doesn't always have to be in a magazine, because that's a lot as well, and as you said, it's very costly. And then with the line sheet, you show how each piece is created with your flat lays. You have the possible samples in terms of the different colors that you can get this one piece in, the cost of it, the cost, the suggested retail cost, the wholesale cost, even the sizes, the prices, and the quantities in terms of ordering, minimums and maximums will be on your line sheet. So the line sheet is the business part of it when you pass the lookbook stage then. So it's something that you need to show once you're pitching to them. You need both that line sheet and your lookbook. You can even go further, as I'm saying, if you need to put in that portfolio per se, the inspiration then, where the collection came from. So I know, like with you, Raquel, this would have been, if it's not just for your brand, but even for the collection, showing that Caribbean side, but still being inspired by other things. Yes, I have those worksheets on my website, so you can see that under the selection of resources. You will see all the worksheets there. I have to actually update, so hopefully by the end of this month, we'll have a couple more worksheets. Actually, you can actually let me know any information that you want to find out, or that has been bothering you, or something that you're still being tickled by in terms of you're not too sure how to go about it. You can actually put a comment here, or a question, or even something that I can then find. Do you need to be able to use Illustrator to do line sheets too? It is something that is necessary. I don't think it's necessary to have Illustrator. You can actually put it together on a Word document, but make sure you can just look for examples. I think I even have examples on that worksheet that I have there. Illustrator is needed, especially at least if you're putting together your flats. But if you already have your flats and it's saved as a JPEG or even a PDF, you can add it to a Word document and do that outlay there. Canva now has become like a Bible. So you can use Canva as well to put together these things, or even PicMonkey. You could even try Publisher to put these things together as well, or even PowerPoint. Because it's basically different pieces of information that you're adding to one sheet. So it doesn't have to be Illustrator. Illustrator will be used for your flat lays, and everything else you can add on by yourself. So Illustrator, yes, it may be necessary, but not totally. Once you have the experience in Illustrator, you can use it. As I'm saying before, any other questions? Sabrina, is something we can work on. That's no problem. It's also a service that we do as well. But again, it will be a lot of back and forth in terms of once you give me the information. It's just to make sure that I have everything done in terms of, because with your bags, it's a bit different. Unless it's not the one-of-a-kind pieces. If it's one-of-a-kind, it's easy. If you know for sure that you have different materials that you can do this one bag in, it has to be listed so people have more options once they need to order. You would need dimensions. Hi, Crystal. Good night. I'm not too sure who that is about Crystal, but good night as well. Once you have dimensions, those sorts of things will need to be added because you're doing bags. And you need to get dimensions of the height, the width, and even the space on the inside. If they're flat, zippers, buckles, everything needs to be included as well. So then note to the functionality of the product and how it fits in to what they already have in their space. So these are things to be very mindful of. So I was just telling you again, and just reiterating to people who just came on, Instagram and Facebook cannot be your lookbook. You can do your own lookbook. You can even have a landing page if you do not have a website. A website, especially if you're trying to be respected and taken seriously by the international bodies, you need to have a website at some point. Even if you don't have a website, it doesn't have to have e-commerce on it. Sure, no problem. It doesn't even have to have a website. Sorry, the e-commerce part of it, but that in terms of your website, it becomes now your lookbook. So one of my recently included clients, CLD, we just finished. She would have outsourced, but we worked together in terms of putting together her website. So her website now is fully a lookbook, and it has like how to order, FAQs, those sorts of things. So you can check that out. I think it's going to be launched by the end of this week for the latest. No problem. Hi, Harvey. So even if you don't have that website, as I'm saying, you ensure at least if you have a landing page, that can then become something like a website or your lookbook, where you have a couple pictures of, be it your most recent collection or your top selling or top favorite pieces, so people then can become familiar with you. You put a little more information. Hi, Stacy. A little more information in terms of the type of brand that you are, a small bio, a little bit in terms of the collection that you have, and how they can contact you, and even then find ways that you can include that you then gain persons' email addresses. So the landing page becomes a small or snapshot then of a lookbook, so that they can see what you do in one go. But then, as I said, if you have that link where you can do that lookbook electronically, that they can either request it from you or something that you can mail to them that is easily packaged and cheap, I guess, to send across. It doesn't always have to be that thick or 5-page plus, 12-page plus lookbook. Sometimes people like to flip these things through and be wasting paper, honestly. Everybody's online now. You can do these things online. You get that graphic person, you get that great photographer, get those things done and just click send. It's as easy as that. They may not see it the first time, and of course when you do pitching, because I'm sure you would have gotten emails from me, you know I harass you as often as I can, but you don't do it very often. But sometimes some people actually have to pitch to some people 7 times before they even take them on, because so many emails are coming through all the time, or it just may not be that time in terms of the fit for your product with their brand. So you send it off today, you follow up like in 2 weeks. Hi, I would have sent you something, just checking in again. Check again in maybe 2 weeks or at the end of the month, and you send it over if need be, or you can just follow up with that same thread. Sometimes you start over, find some catchy word or phrase to have for your for the subject, and let people see who you are. But as I'm saying, it is something outside of us just tagging some retailers that we know around the way or around the area and hoping for the best in terms of them just liking our stuff and sending us a consignment or wholesale agreement. Wholesale agreements are very hard to come by. Stacey, I know I think you just got through it one, because I know Simply Runway is doing stuff like that. But I know for sure we're trying to get more than just the consignment or even the wholesale just by the stores that we know here and getting noticed on the outside. Even in it's small boutiques, it doesn't. I'm not saying look for TJ Maxx. I'm not saying look for Macy's. We don't have that capacity. But at least some of those smaller boutiques in the Williamsburg area, even in somewhere in Miami, somewhere LA, Connecticut might have something cool. Philadelphia, you find these retailers and you send them these lookbooks, and as I said, the electronic lookbooks. They can flip through, they could be issue, so it looks like a magazine, issue.com. They actually do these platforms that make things look like magazines and you're flipping through. You do a normal PDF, you can do a slideshow presentation, you make it yours. There are different ways that you can present these things to people. Find some way that fits in with your brand and make it yours. So it's just something like that I wanted to just talk about today, because of what I would have seen at that UTT presentation. The amount of time and effort that goes into these things that should not be taken for granted, because it is something that is needed. It may not be, as I said, regionally or locally all the time, but it is something that is needed. That you have that presentation and that brand portfolio ready in case someone does notice you and ask for that. Because not everything, as I said, is going to come off of Instagram. These serious businesses will actually ask you for these things. Your line sheets, your lookbooks, inspiration even, and ask for further questions in terms of who's your target market. You need to know who this is, because they may be thinking your stuff looks cool and fits into what they do, but based on your target market, it is nowhere near what they are expecting, and there's no fit, or they may have to find a way to make it fit. So these are things that you must know first, and you are in a way are educating these retailers. This is who I am, how can we work together to fit, or this is who I am, we don't fit, so let's move on, instead of wasting people's times as well. So it's just some stuff I wanted to explain today or even go through if you have any questions further, no problem, Crystal, in terms of what I'm talking about, in terms of pitching to buyers and the whole line sheet lookbook. As I said, that worksheet is on my website. You can check it out, fashionarch.com. Go into the resources section, and you will see the worksheets that I have there. You'll see stuff on trunk shows, trade shows. If it's time for you to do a fashion show even, I'll talk about that after UTT's fashion show this weekend for sure. And also the line sheets versus the lookbook, because a lot of people have gotten confused between the two. As I said, the lookbook is that online catalog, and the line sheet then is where the business comes in, where you explain the materials used, how it's made, the minimums, the cost, that sort of thing. So just wanted to jump on quick and see how things were going. Sabrina, we will speak shortly. I know we have to catch up on some things. Stacey, I hope things are alright with you, and excited to see stuff going on with Caribbean. With Simply Runway. That's really good for you. I'm really glad about that. Thanks again, Raquel, for joining. And glad that the information was impactful for you. Does anyone else have any other questions or even suggestions, as I was asking before, in terms of if you think there's anything that you're missing or want some more information on that I can do possibly a worksheet on? Also want to start some ebooks from next July. Those, however, may have a small cost attached to it, but I will see how it goes. But in terms for now, all of my worksheets and information on the website are free, so take advantage of that. And I will put on some more by the end of the month for the latest before we get into ebooks. And of course, once you're already a subscriber, you will get either a discount or something free from that. No problem at all, Sabrina. Hi, Style Hive. I know you may have come on late. I'm still trying to find a way to save and transfer all of these videos to my website. Getting a little bit of trouble seeing that I have a new phone, so I'm still trying to work the phone properly. But I will also have all of these videos that I've been doing live on my website soon, thefashionarch.com. And we're supposed to be finishing off our Father's Day blog today, so you can look out for that soon. Would have been some of the people who would have been at our pop-up last week. And we also have another pop-up coming up soon. Anybody here from Barbados will be in crop over as well. Doing some pop-ups with Pomposette / Sweethearts. So you will see us there. And yeah, I don't know if anyone has any questions or anything else that they may want to add or ask. You can do so now. You're welcome, Sabrina. Welcome, Shadi. I will try to get back on the live a little more often. Maybe at least twice a week or maybe 3 times. I wouldn't do it every day. It's based on my schedule, but I will try my best to hop on. So outside of the tips you may see on my website as well as Instagram, I will try to come on as often as I can. Thank you. And share some information with you as things happen as well too, based on sometimes it's a meeting I may have had, or as I said, with that interaction with UTC recently, or just maybe some topic let's think about someday and go from there. Welcome. If you have any questions, you can DM me or email me, and we can work out something from there in terms of if you need to get more information. Yes. You can check that out for Linesheets for sure. No problem. Again, remember, Linesheets is more for if you're doing things in multiples. You can still do it even if it's something that's not custom but one of a kind. You can, so these people can see how it's made, the materials that is used for it, as well as all the fixtures and fixings of it. You can use the line sheet, but it's more really for persons who are looking to order things from you, so they can find options in terms of sizes, different color schemes, as well as the price, and the suggested retail price, as well as your wholesale price, your minimums as well. So that's really what the line sheets are about. So you can look at that for sure, Stacey, because I see that you've been doing stuff as well now in terms of retail. So that's good. So check it out for sure. And as I said before, the lookbooks, you don't have to print. Save the trees, save the paper. It's all about sustainability. Everybody's online. Do it electronically. Find some way that suits what you do, your budget as well as your brand, and do it. But as I was saying before, the different quirky ways you can do it, as I said, at one sheet. So if it's an 8 look or 10 look collection, that can fit easily on an 8-inch, because as I said, this is 7 or 6 or so. a little longer than this, those looks can fit easily onto that. And on the other side, you can put in your brand information, a small bio, that sort of thing. And that's one sheet, compared to each person then have to print 10 pages, which is very expensive. So just try in terms of your resources and your means, the best way that you can then make it work for you. And if no one else has any questions or comments, I will wrap up for now. I have a couple things to do before the night is over. And I just want to say again, thank you for joining in, and hope that the information was helpful in some way. And we will chat again soon. Have a good night.